What's going on, gamers? Funny salt stuff here, and just more stuff to talk about. Shawn Layden is included in this, but in an awesome way. And then we see PlayStation Studios X Devs. Yeah, I think we remember the J-Dub incident. We're gonna highlight that after we watch something very funny. It gets very interesting here. This pony cannot handle games going outside of PlayStation and PC, and I think when it comes to the Helldivers announcement, which I still don't get why people are still butthurt over that, he's ready. He's nib ready. All right, so are we ready to get into this? There's some stuff to explain here. It's going to be funny because it's going to be what you don't expect. So yeah, here we go. All right, here goes this guy, Yojex, right? Or Yojex, however the hell you say this. Let's go to his profile real quick. Let's see. Okay, Louisiana, 827 following. Okay. If this is what PlayStation, Herman Host, Cerny, Sony XDev, they don't overtag them. Yoshida, he'll be nice. Shawn Layden, maybe. And Rhodes Scott. New strategy consists of to constantly devalue and belittle their own core fan base little by little. Then this is what I have been preparing for over the last 3 years. Actions speak louder than words. And I have enough backlog to stay locked in on PlayStation 5 on back for the foreseeable future with no problems until I finally make a move to PC or elsewhere. So he's kind of trying to give Sony a warning here. He's fed up and he's been preparing the last 3 years. Okay. There's already talk by outsiders who don't fully support PlayStation on why they should even buy one now that PlayStation puts games on other platforms. This is it. This is the funny part. Oh man, this is funny. Mind your perception. Guys, the thing that blows my mind about this is that they've did this with PC. I thought people would be over it by now. If they did that to PC, that's the biggest thing you should have accepted. And Sony saw it wasn't as damaging as you thought, or we thought it was going to be. So that's why they had that saying where, like, you know, PC is not a threat to us. We can put our games there and it's not going to affect us that much. That's what they said. They're not worried about it. So if Sony has that perception and they're making that move, and then they decide to put Helldivers on Xbox, that just makes sense. You know what I mean? From a live service perspective, just everything. Who are you to tell them that they're wrong? No, they're deciding that because they're looking at it now from a business standpoint. But you want it there so they can't get the profit that they want. Like, you're not understanding. So you guys are butting heads with what Sony realizes is what best for their business. You see what I'm saying? Exclusives already lost the power that they had outside of the Nintendo realm a while ago. They still matter. If I was Microsoft, I would be starting the next gen all 6 months exclusives for all games. You see? Then they can go out. At least try, you know, just at the beginning, you know, because if it doesn't work, then yeah, whatever. But anyways, that's just me, though. Let's continue, though. There's already talk on the outsiders put games on PlayStation. Mind you, perception is everything in marketing. These short-term gains PlayStation think they are garnering will do long-term irreparable damage. Not necessarily. And once you lose your core audience, that's the beginning of the end. Well, yeah, if that happens. Those 30% cuts from third-party and PlayStation Plus subs will dry up faster than pouring water on concrete on a hot summer day. And once people start rebuilding or exploring their options elsewhere being platforms you have no control over or how consumer spending is encouraged, then it will be a wrap. I'm not here to argue with anyone. I'm just voting with my wallet and habits going forth. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fool me again. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to George Bush him. But fool me twice, shame on me. And I promise I won't be fooled twice. We'll see about that, y'all. We're going to keep a tab on this guy just for that. If you're a PlayStation fan whom has bought in and invested directly, now is the time to speak up. He's had it, y'all. He's had it. Pony rage. There's rainbows behind this. People wondering if you've seen some rainbows in Louisiana? He's one of them. If you enjoy PlayStation and don't want to see them make mistakes others have in the past, either speak, act now, or remain complicit, and watch the Titanic sink over time because of their own mismanagement and decisions in the name of expanding and profits. Fool's gold at its finest. I mean, he has some good points here. I understand what he's saying. And he said this to Shawn Layden, right? He tagged him. Are we ready? Fair call. Happy. I like Shawn Layden, man. He's funny, bro. He cracks me up because he's straight up. Guys, there's another meltdown. He replied to him too. We're gonna get to that in a second. But let's not even look at that. Let's just look at what Shawn Layden said. We're gonna get down to this thread right here. Okay. The interesting thing about this and the way that he replied, I want you guys to listen to me, is Shawn Layden listened to the guy because he said fair call. He actually took the time to read it. He didn't just look at him as like, oh, you know, guys, think about it. 1 second. I'm viewing this probably different, huh? It's a good perspective to think about, though. He said fair call. He read his post. I even agree with him. Something in there is fair. I'm just laughing at how he's upset about the other stuff. You know, sometimes the stuff is funny. But he said, don't tag me, though. Not 1, but 3 dots. Let me tell you why. Okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be a terrible thing. For him, he says he apologizes. So we're going to get to this in a second, though. For him, he's retired. He's not doing that game. If he's going to get on the interviews because he feels like there's some peace there, no yelling, I know Shawn Layden. He's the type of guy that's like, son, why are you yelling at the screen? You know what I mean? Like, he's super calm. He's not about any of that type of stuff, but he'll listen to you and have a conversation. But when you do this to somebody, all these comments, all this stuff, it's going to flare his whole entire wall. He doesn't want that on there. I'm telling you, that's one of the reasons too, because that's annoying. And you know how sometimes somebody tags you and you come back, you're like, why do I have like 99 plus or, you know, something like that? And then like when you're trying to look for something important, they're kind of like, definitely if you got time management, it's a bit annoying when it's just stuff like this. Because he's also saying too, like, dude, I'm not at Sony anymore. You know what I mean? But fair call. You know what I mean? But yeah, just leave me out of this drama. And it kind of reminds me of what they did to J-Dub. Are we ready to get into this? Then we're going to read this comment. Funny stuff, man. It's just crazy because, guys, you know what's so funny? You know what's so funny to me about this? It's twice in a week where 2 PlayStation important people, because you had the Sony X devs, right? Then you had the person who was leading, who knew how to win against Microsoft and everything, come and tell you, bro, fair call, man, but come on, man, get on with that crap. don't come to my page with that, man. Now you got my whole wall flooded, man. Okay, so we ready for this? Well, J-Dub, if you're watching, Amazon has, you know, tissues and Kleenex on sale right now, in case it's still bothering you. This is what happens, y'all. Get ready. They actually replied, we respect all types of players in this house, no matter the console platform. I'm gonna go. The official PlayStation. Oh my God. Yo, guys. Guys. They told him basically in the nicest way possible, get your punk ass on with that console war stuff on my account. As a matter of fact, I'm just posting for all sorts of gamers. Boom. Man, and what makes this so interesting is I could imagine being J-Dub at that moment, because everything that he's worked for his entire life on Twitter, not even worked for, but, you know, just all the drama they do, they get up and do that, right? Against such opponent. Imagine having somebody from a... But yeah, so we're not going to go too much into that because we saw that before, but you guys get the point here, right? And then here it is again with like the response, because it's like somebody come in with their, you know, they're not with it. Don't we have 2 different contexts here? But we have a similarity of somebody in a high position coming and telling them. And the thing about Shawn Layden is like, he's straight up. And like I say, he's simple. But the thing that I like about him is that he made it clear that I saw what you said and I see it as a fair call, but get your ass home. Sit down, pony. That's what he said. I'm not pony tendering anymore. He has it there. Rainbow flag, see? Shawn Layden's still for the ponies, but He doesn't want his wall to say 99 plus to where when he looks at it, it's like 5, 6, 7, 800. You know what I mean? But let's go down and see what he says. This gets a little interesting. Okay. But Shawn Layden is not going to reply anymore. He's done. Shawn, I apologize, but maybe you still brush elbows with PlayStation brass. Dude, you have to understand what I just said. Tell them to pull their heads from their ass and acknowledge where their real fan base is. See, this is how you know he don't really understand the way these companies work, bro, because what you're trying to tell him is the wrong thing. It's not going to work that way. Why would he go do that? He already did his job. He worked for them. He's not going to go do that, man. His fanboy is blind him. We have been talking a long time to them, but on deaf ears. The fans, not the fanboys who conform. Continuing on this path for short-term gains will have real negative ramifications in the long run. I don't want to see the PlayStation I've always enjoyed walk this path when it's not needed. As a PlayStation fan myself, I find this tweet embarrassing. Gatekeeping online multiplayer games helps no one. The more people who can access and enjoy a great online game like Helldivers 2, the better it is for its community. What I find embarrassing is your assessment and use of the word gatekeeping. Do you go to McDonald's and ask for a steak and then they laugh and tell you they don't have any, get upset? Now you go to where your favorite steakhouse is and you sit down and eat. No one is gatekeeping anything. All this gatekeeping crap started this gen after certain editors were pushed by a certain subset of gamers. If you want a PlayStation, you can buy one. In fact, my PlayStation fans will welcome you with open arms as it should be. Okay, Helldivers is not necessarily gatekeeping when it's their IP. Now, him saying that started this gen, he's insane. Sony came in gatekeeping. That means my platform and it doesn't belong on other platforms. It's different when it's your IP. I don't care. I'm not going to complain about somebody's first party game. You can do whatever the hell you want with that. That's your IP. But when you're grabbing somebody else's IPs and then locking them away, when initially you know they kind of want to do that, because what happens when it doesn't work? They let you know we're going third party, like Square did. They're no longer doing it anymore. And so when you see that start happening and you see people getting mad, it's like, see, you're not understanding the situation. You got your way for a long time. You see what I mean? Sony was locking things forever. Like the PlayStation community had that forever. Now it's finally time to be up. Dude, they did it as long as they could. They can't do it anymore. Because even the ones that they're trying to put, they're telling them, no, I still want to go multi-platform. And that's the thing that I just don't understand that they don't get. It's like, you've had it. Now they want to see this way. If it doesn't work, they'll change. Trust me, you know what I mean? These corporations are not going to do anything that's going to destroy. The only corporation that could get away with that, as I told people, was Microsoft. Because if they took away Game Pass, then they just literally ruin their value of being useful. Even if it is at a loss, everybody knows that deep down. You know, it's not going to be able to be reasonable. When we're talking about first party costs and development and stuff like that, it's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? So, but you have to have a lot of money, otherwise that's never going to happen. You won't be able to do that. And yeah, you would need an insane amount of subs like Netflix. But not to get too far off topic, but it's basically giving an example. So, and we're not even really off topic because we're talking about situations, services. They chose to skip PlayStation Plus and they chose to put Helldivers on Xbox because they're looking for pure profit. Anytime you put anything on a service, you're not making more money. You know what I mean? You're making less money. So Sony wasn't looking to do that. And that should just tell you how serious they are about that. Bro, they're so serious that they would rather not put it on Plus for you. And they would rather put it over there and say, it's not going to Game Pass. Let's see what pure profit we can at least get here. Then we may do that. I'm telling you, that's what it's about. These new guys, they don't think like that. You thinking that's only tied to Xbox? I promise you, man. Nishino said it when he came in. So did Totoki. They're like, we don't think like that. We're all about business. It took a while to show because people were worrying, but they did end up following what they said. So all this butthurt over Helldivers stuff, man, you guys need to get over this because it's not damaging Sony. They got their use out of it already. PC had its use. It's over. They got everything they needed. Now it's just continuing to update and then adding an Xbox with that. That's not going to hurt PlayStation at all. I promise you. Just listen to me. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Funny stuff. Don't at me though. This is it. This just made my day. All right, y'all. Peace out. Later.